here right now, but I don't want him to be here, so he's at my mom's. We always together. You see me, you see him. But and then on top of that, and then you will never see him in an environment that a child should never be in. Wouldn't do no shit like that. I wouldn't lie because, like, I'll take that blame. I'll take the blame. I take that blame. I take, you know, why didn't you know? Why you ain't people? I take that shit. Sometimes we get wrapped up in our own lives and shit be going on and stuff. You know, if something happens to a kid, they don't want to say nothing, so you miss shit. It's just like when you're in a relationship and you missing red signs. You got the flags in your face, but you can't see it. You don't understand. You can't see it, so you skip it. I didn't understand. And when I was raised, my parents yelled at me for everything. So, you know, I'm very strict because my dad was very strict. And I just handled it the way that I, you know, I grew up and how I handled it. And I tried my best to figure out what was wrong with him. But I was angry. I was angry with him because I didn't understand. I didn't get it. I would tell him, like, you're not going to get in trouble for telling me that you had to poop. Like, why are you not telling me? Like, why do you want to be in poop all day? Like, I'm talking to his teachers, my parents, his dad, me, all my friends, like, even him, even David, who I was dating while all this was going on. I will call him on the phone, crying. I don't know what to do with Wesley. Like, he just keeps pooping in his pants. I don't get it. My mom said once I should take him to the doctor. She didn't imply, like, molestation, but she just said you should take him to the doctor. And I was saying, why would I take him to the doctor? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, I don't know why he's doing this, but there's nothing wrong with him. Like I didn't understand what was going on. So I was just like, I'm just thinking it's like a phase or something. Like, you know, like his teacher was saying maybe he's just nervous because of kindergarten. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I thought maybe he was just growing into his body and you know, maturing, and maybe he just didn't want anyone touching him. I don't know. I never thought that. So I missed everything. At the end of the day, you don't see that shit. Like, you don't see it. Like, if somebody don't want to tell you something, they ain't gonna tell you. And you gotta read behind the lines, but I ain't thinking there was no lines to read behind. Like, I asked my son to be okay, he said, yeah, that's it. Unless he's acting extremely weird. But my son is strong. Like, he's like me. Like, he holds me down. Like, he's the man of the house. Like, he went through that and didn't even tell me for 2 months. That's how strong he is. So yeah, I'm upset that I wasn't able to be there for him when he was going through this. Like, I was too busy dating this fuck nigga in this fuck nigga face. I didn't see what my son was going through. My baby daddy, who's in prison, he hate me. And he have all right. Imagine being in prison and you can't do nothing. You can't see your child. If I'm lying, why would I do that to my baby father? That was that's the second hardest things I ever had to hear, was him cry on that jail phone. And now he's in solitary confinement because I don't know what he was doing, but they locked him up. Now he's by himself. And I don't know what's going on with him right now. So, this affects my whole family. I wouldn't even show my face on the internet if I was to lie on some shit like this. That's some sick shit. And no, you can't tell when people are sick. You can't. I could not tell that he dealt with that type of shit. At the end of the day, I knew that David dealt with stuff. He always talked about dealing with demons and whatever. But I'm thinking that's just the normal shit. Like, he's from where he's from. He's an MVP. First time ever playing. He was MVP. He was so happy. He took his phone. He sent everybody pictures of his medal. He sends a picture to David's phone. I didn't have David's phone number blocked on my son's phone because I just wanted to keep it open in case he texted some crazy shit or whatever. I wanted to monitor it. And I looked at Wesley and I said, Wesley, why did you send him this? He's not your friend. He goes, I know. But he said sorry. So my son is battling with the fact that this man violated him, but is his friend, still called him after it, said sorry to him. He's 5. So he's battling with, he's confused. And it was that much confusion of me still dating this man. So yeah, he showed a picture of me in his house September 15th. I didn't know September 15th. I found out October 1st. I had no idea. I don't know what you're proving. I don't get it. Like, just listen to the dates. I'm not here to do the whole investigation. I'm just here to answer certain questions. I didn't know. I found out October 1st after he had yet another accident in his pants. And I just wanted to say real quick, I apologize if I'm all over the place. I know this could get tricky too. Y'all gonna say she lying because she everywhere. It's really hard for me to think. And my mind's racing. And I'm trying to say the right things. So I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. October 1st, he had an accident. I picked him up from school. So at some point, I just got tired of like yelling at my son about it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to buy diapers and I'll just put diapers on you and I'll just wipe you. And I guess until you feel like being a big boy again, you know, I'll take you out of diapers. That's how I was treating it because I had no idea. I had no idea. So 4 days into his diapers, I found out 4 days later. I don't know if the diapers helped because I know he didn't like to be in the diapers. He's grown. Like, he wants to feel grown. He's in kindergarten. He's playing football. Why does he want to be in diapers? And that was the point of me putting him in diapers. Like, hopefully this will be, he tell me what's going on. He can stop and get back to normal. I don't know. Before I picked him up from school that day, I prayed. I had been praying. I had been praying about him pooping. I had been praying about this. I got on my hands and knees in my bathtub. And I begged God to heal my son and to show me what I couldn't see. I also prayed on my relationship with David because, as you've seen on his page, September 27th, I definitely did break up with him. I don't know what his end game was the reply because the LOL was 3 days later. We definitely talked on the phone after that text message, and the LOL came from me being on live and me egging his calls. So he texted me LOL, but of course he's a manipulator and it's going to tell you what is going to make him look good. But I paid myself from school. And I asked him, why do you keep pooping in your pants? And he's, So this is after the shower, after I prayed, I went to go pick him up. And he's, and I'm calm. I'm just calm because I was so tired of yelling. I was so tired of being angry with him. I didn't understand what was going on. So I let it go. I gave it to God. And I was just calm. And I was working on being calm with him. Since I put the diapers on him for 4 days, just calm. Don't beat him for it. Don't yell at him for it. Just keep encouraging him to use the bathroom. Wesley, come on, use the bathroom. I don't want you in diapers. Come on, you know. He's fidgeting, and then he just opens up and tells me after 2 months. Originally, my son stated that it was Alex. Alex is my niece, his 3-year-old cousin, who was a girl. She's a little girl. He originally stated and said, me and Alex were playing, and I fell and I hit a stick. So I'm looking at him like, and I heard that before. He said that to me before, and I asked him what he was talking about. I'm like, are you okay? And he was like, yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not making sense. And I said, where'd the stick go? He starts pointing. So I say, like, I'm like, my heartbeat. I'm like, what you talking about? And then he say, Alex put something there. I say, what? What are you talking about? So I'm like, what are you talking about? Alex did what? What was it? He says, it was a little spiky thing. I said, where'd she get it from? I don't know. I said, what color was it? Silver and gold. I said, okay. Freaking out because I don't know what's going on. I'm asking questions like, how did you feel? Did you like it? Were you guys playing? Like, what were y'all doing? I don't get it. And he said, I said, how did you feel? Like, how did you feel? He said, I felt sad. I said, why? He said, because no one had ever done that to me before. So I'm like what? Like, then it clicked, like the pooping in the pants, the insecurity. He felt violated. Baby Alex. What? I'm confused. I called David. He was the first nigga I called. Because he was the closest one to me that was dealing with this the whole time with me. I say, Wesley just told me what happened. He said, what he said? I said, he said that, I don't know. He said, baby Alex put something up in him. I'm talking like that. When I get like this, I stutter and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. He's saying Alex put something up him, and I'm so confused. I don't get it. Like I don't even know what to think right now, and I don't get it. I need to talk to her mom. I'm freaking out, crying, like heartbroken. I'm telling him, bro, I can't breathe. I'm crying because all I heard was how he felt about it. So I knew it was serious. And then all the other signs, it clicked. So I'm in my head thinking like, I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. I'm telling him, I don't get how she did that. Like, the 3-year-old, like, she's a little girl, and my son is almost 6. How does a little girl put something up you unwillingly? As a child, my son would have had to been bent over with his cheeks out or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have had to have been spreading. There's no way that physically a little girl could just go up behind my son and dig in his pants and stick anything up him. It didn't make sense. Without him pushing her off. It didn't make sense. I'm asking him, how did she do that to you? It's not making sense. But I'm not questioning my son. I'm just listening. I ain't never questioned him. I never said I don't believe. I let him talk. So I tell David on the phone, what he said about initially being Alex. And I remember when I first said Alex, he was like, who was Alex? That little girl who was there? And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, see, I told you something happened to him. I told you I know those signs because somebody in my family, that happened to them before. See, that's why I asked you if he's been around anybody new. And he did. So he's the only one out of everybody of my family that ever suggested that my son was touched. He had said it because he said, has he been around anybody new? And I knew what that implies. And I was like, no, he's only around the 5 people and all of them but one are girls. So I'm like, no, like nobody touched Wesley. He don't be nowhere. And that was it. I'm saying I never thought about it. But he was the only one. He goes, see, I told you something happened to him. I told you I know those signs. Somebody in my family, because it happened to them. That's why I told you to stop beating on him. That's why I told you just talk to him. Because I knew something was wrong with him. You a good mother. Y'all gonna be good. So he goes, I'm gonna call you back. Click. I didn't hear from that fuck nigga for 2 weeks. Now, mind you, September 27th, I did break up with him. But I'm telling you in a story that he was my first person I called. So clearly that means we were still talking. No, we weren't officially dating, but he was still very much so involved in my life to where he was the first person I called about this. So for him to say, I'm going to call you back, and I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks, that whole time, nothing. Every time I ever try to leave him, he'd be on my Instagram lives. He'd be blowing up my phone when I'm on Instagram live. He'll be subtweeting me. He'll be DMing me, texting me, calling me. There has never been a time that this man has ever stepped away and walked away from me for more than 3 days. 2 weeks after I just tell you, somebody you care about, somebody whose son you care about, I just tell you I'm crying, I'm heartbroken. I tell you what just happened to my son. You tell me, go call me back. We're going to be okay. You go call me back. And I don't hear from you for 2 weeks. You just didn't get back to me. That's what he told his mom. I just didn't get back to her. You didn't get back to me? Now, I didn't text I didn't text him because I found out that night the whole complete true story. So I'm not finna text him when I know what the fuck you did to my son. And see, you got to be smart. I went to the police as soon as I got the story, okay? I can't jeopardize the case. I'm not going to jeopardize the case and let him know I got the cops on you. So what? So he can do what he's doing now? What he's doing now is I'm getting threats. I'm getting threats that it's not safe for me to be in my house. Niggas is trying to expose my OnlyFans pages and shit. So that's what I'm going through right now. I wasn't going to let him know that I have police on your ass until it's about time that you about to find out. Cause you about to find out. You about to find out. I don't give a fuck who want to say what. Just give it a couple of days. Just be patient. Like I had to be patient. Be patient. It's coming. It's coming. Like I don't whatever. So anyways, 2 weeks, didn't hear from him, right? So boom, back to my son in the story. Back to Alex. So boom. Call Alex's mom. I call my sister. I'm like, what's he said? Da, 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 da. I'm throwing a fit. I'm at the crib. I'm yelling at everybody. Because everybody was telling me, no, there's no way Alex did that, Brittany. Alex didn't do that, Brittany. No. And I'm like, so you trying to say my son is lying? So I'm really stepping on everybody. I'm going hard because I never questioned him. And everybody was like, we're not saying he's lying. We know something happened to him. We know, everybody knows what he was dealing with. But they were saying, it's not Alex, Brittany. It couldn't have been Alex. And everybody, my sister's mom, she say, maybe he's covering for somebody. I didn't want to hear that shit because it's like, what are y'all talking about? That's what he said to me. I'm finna stand by what my son said. But before we attack that character, I guess I'll finish the how I found out exactly what happened. I get home from picking him up from school that day. After he told me about Alex, I talked to David. I drive home. So when I drive home, I'm talking to him some more. I asked him what he did, whatever. I don't really want to get into all the details. I don't like talking about that shit. But he said he pushed whatever he used, whatever Alex, because originally it was Alex. So he pushed it out. And I say, so what'd you do with it? He say, I hid it. I say, where'd you put it? He said, I threw it outside. So I say, outside? Go and walk me outside. So I walked outside. I got the cameras. October 1st. It was, I believe, 6 or 7. In the evening. I walk outside and he says clearly, I threw it over there. I stand where my son said he threw it. I'm walking in the grass. Mind you, in my head, I'm looking for a little spiky thing that is silver and gold. So, walking around the grass. Boom. I see these screws on the floor. I wasn't even going to pick them up. But that's the only thing that was on the ground. So I pick it up and I say, Wesley, you wasn't talking about this. He said, yeah, it was that. I said, no, it wasn't. I said, yeah, it was that. Broke down. 2 hours. 2 hours I sat outside. For 2 hours outside of my backyard. Front door wide open. Had flies all up in my crib. For 2 hours. Because he walked me to where he said he put it. I have no reason to... There's just... how he knew that little spiky thing was going to be outside in the grass and he could walk me straight to it. Broke my heart when I saw that it was screws. I'm thinking it was like a little. I feel something in me to just keep getting up because it's my son. My son is the only reason why. Like, I don't even know how I would be without my kid. I really don't. I wake up every day for my kid. Everybody can feel how they want to feel about this, but I'm riding for my son. And this ain't no shit that I just made up and pulled out my ass and wanted to say, hey, let's do some crazy shit. Let's fuck this nigga's life up. Why would I do this with my child? Anyways, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Again, thank you so much to all of the women who have come out. It's been a lot of support, and I'm so grateful for it. You don't understand how much that means to me to have some support, because it's been really, really hard. And there's a lot of even males in my DMs opening up about stories, what happened to them and how people didn't believe them. And it's sad, but I see the stories, I've been reading them, and I'm glad that at the end of the day, I hope this is a lesson that everybody can learn, you know what I'm saying? Everybody can take something from it. And I hope it could be a blessing to somebody else. And I just want to say thank you, and that's it.